Hello friends, Jenkins here, and I have had an epiphany. So this video is going to be a bit of a video essay with the obvious lack of the usual face cam, and that's just because I wanted to articulate my thoughts a little bit better for this video because I consider this concept to be one of the most important things that I've ever talked about on this channel. So you know how a lot of people complain about how it's quite easy to watch a pro replay and see what they're doing, but it's really difficult to figure out why they're actually doing things? I have essentially stumbled upon a process for learning the why, and at the very least, it works for me. I know that's a relatively bold claim, so let me explain. Basically, a couple of weeks ago, I started spamming Pango on my Smurf, and why did I spam Pango? Because I suck dick at Pango, and my excuse was always that I didn't enjoy playing it. It was just boring to play. So I decided that enough is enough. It's time to stop avoiding the hero because it's seriously hindering me as an offlaner that I don't have this hero available to me every time it comes into the meta, especially because the hero is a high skill cap hero. So it's super MMR winning to know how to win with it. So what I did is I popped open my stream, I hopped on my 6K Smurf, and I changed the title of my stream to Pango Only Player, and then proceeded to pick Pango in every single game. To the point where I was absolutely dreading playing the hero in the next game. I was so bored of it. Donnie actually had to step into my chat and give me some motivational words in order to get me to pick Pango when I was highlighting Pudge in like the third game in. And you know what? I actually started enjoying it. For the first time ever, I enjoyed playing Pangolier. This made me have the realization that the reason that I didn't like the hero before was not because it's not a fun hero, but because I had an extremely weak opinion on the hero, so I wasn't confident and I would fall behind in every game. This is probably true for most other heroes and roles I don't like. I probably just suck at them, and sucking is straight up not fun. Anyway, I started repeating and developing this process for other heroes in the following weeks. So basically what I do for this process is, number one, I'll go to Dota2ProTracker.com and I'll just look for a hero that I think is really good that I want to play. Let's say Enigma. So I'll go through a couple of these replays, I'll load them up on DotaBuff, check out the builds that people are doing if this loads here by clicking the builds. I'll just compare between the games, maybe open a couple of the replays and skip through it. I won't watch the entire replay because it doesn't matter. What matters is developing a starting position for your opinion on the hero. How should the hero be played and why? So just an FYI for this clip that we're about to see, I'm using Leshrac as an example here because this hero is one of the heroes that I used this process to learn in the previous couple of weeks, so it's really fresh for me what I learned about this hero. So essentially, the second part of the process is that I would go into every single game with an idea of exactly what I want to do on the hero at different times. I want to go 2 crowns first on Leshrac. Okay, I felt like I wasn't tanky or I wasn't fast enough, so I'm going to go boots first on Leshrac. It's extremely important to go into games with ideas and a list of things that you want to try, even if you know deep in your heart they are shit ideas. You just need something. So things inevitably would go horribly because I would be repeating things blindly that I saw in pro replays, or I would be trying something and it just wouldn't work, but this would help me slowly develop an opinion for the next game, instead of just having no opinion at all. Such as, okay, I'm getting hard countered by Nyx Assassin on Leshrac, he's killing me in every fight, so I need to go BKB second item. Oh my god, it works, Nyx is no longer a counter to Leshrac, I'm a better Leshrac player. Slowly but surely, I'd have ideas on exactly how to implement a certain concept in a game and in what scenario, and my opinion changed to the point that I could now watch a pro replay and understand why they did certain things. So some really important points that I want to make about the process, because I know it sounds a little bit ambiguous and meta, But if you're going into a game mindlessly without having things to change from the previous game, you should just stop because you are not going to learn anything. You need to take time to think about things and process what actually went wrong in the previous game and potential solutions, and give yourself time. If you need time to figure out what the best solution is, that's okay, even if it involves not playing Dota. Just think about it. It's also important that your opinion is extremely strong, so that when your opinion is inevitably shattered by somebody dealing with you adequately in a game, you'll feel it. It's going to hurt, and because of that, you're going to remember what to do differently in future games. In other words, it's not important to be 100% correct. It's important to think you're 100% correct just because it will help you massively in expediting the learning process if you actually allow yourself to learn. To give you an example of a concept that I now understand much better from pro games involving Leshrac is I would watch games and be like, why the hell are Leshrac's feeding so much? It's not because they're bad, like they know they're doing it. It's because it makes space. It's because they get towers that way. He's great at split pushing, but what situation do they actually do that? And my opinion before was that you should just do it in every game because Leshrac is good at that. I legitimately thought that a couple of weeks ago. But after playing Leshrac and doing this process, I essentially figured out that it's because in certain games you can't fight because you're instantly going to evaporate in fights anyway. So if you're going to be feeding, you may as well do it in a way where you're making space and getting towers and also farming. And that's pushing towers. That's suiciding down lanes. So the problem with my original opinion is that I'd go down lanes even if I was huge, which is massively incorrect because if you're huge on Leshrac, you could just fight and win the game. So I had to go through this process to understand when and when not to fight, along with tons of other concepts that I now understand with this hero. So there are many benefits of doing this process, a couple of which I will mention here. So when you're in an uncomfortable and a new position in Dota, which happens frequently in this game, you will react quickly because you're confident. And if you react quicker, you will win Dota. This also helps you develop your own unique playstyle for heroes, which is good because if you're following what people do and why, you're going to make wrong decisions. When the meta shifts, you're also going to be ahead of the curve because you're not just copying people on heroes, you're actually going to have reasoning behind why you do stuff. One final note that I want to say is kind of anecdote, but my buddy Nusham just came back from ESL Mumbai, and he learned a lot from Eternal Envy when he was on Team, and he gave me the story of DJ, the player, the Southeast Asian player, who's an absolutely amazing player, one of the best 4 roles in the world, if not the best currently. And apparently the way that he is notorious for figuring out how to play a hero is he will think about the hero while shitting, showering, eating, whatever. He wouldn't play Dota, but he'd think about ideas for what would be good on the hero. Okay, I'm Bounty Hunter. I'm going to snipe the chicken like this. I'm going to do this. And then he'd do it in games, and a lot of stuff would go horribly, but because he thought about it and he had some good ideas, those ones he would solidify, and then he would change the ones that didn't work. And slowly but surely, he became, DJ. And this is a really important concept in my opinion, because you need to give yourself time to think about what to change in the next game if you need to, because it is not the actual games that matter. So many people spam play matches of Dota and they don't learn anything. It is the ideas that you're implementing into the games that actually matters. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.